Hi, thanks for watching again. Today what I want to do is just put together a lot of the things that we've already talked about and create a bit of a dashboard. So what we're going to do is just jump straight in and let's go to Searches, Scanning Manager. I've got my scan here, close greater than moving average. We created the script before and I put it into a scan based on the S&P 500 and last bar. So we've got 204 results. I'm not going to export these results just yet. What I'll do first is say, let's create a watch list, and I will link that watch list and I will link it to that scan. So the scan's going to run again and get updated with all of those securities. And then I can add some other information in here. For instance, maybe what I want to know is how far away is this security from that moving average. So let's come in here again. We're going to do, oh no, I didn't want alerts column. I wanted to go new script column. And we're going to say this time, rather than a true false, I'm going to get a number back. So I'm going to say that the close, subtract the moving average, and we'll make it our 50 period. And this time, like we did before, we'll make it exponential and hit apply to that. So now we have this value of how far are they apart. Now, what I can do, probably should give this a name and just call it distance to MA 50. But what I can do now is I can format this and I can set some rules up, because perhaps if anything's more than, let's say, $20 away, I may want to group that in and have that separate. So we can come along here and say, right, let's create some custom labels. And I can say here, if the value is greater than 20, I want those fields to be green. Now, at the moment, the way this works is I can give it a label. Maybe I say this is a buy signal and I don't really care about the number as much. Or I have a combination of both. So you can see that at the moment, the label is the word label and then value in square brackets. So that's giving me this result here, label with the value. But what I may want to do is say, right, let's just say that this is a good, and just leave it at that. And I can come along and say, right, let's add another one. And this one's going to be those that are greater than 100. And I may say that these are great. And we can reorder them if we need to, because sometimes you can see that Amazon, it's great because it's greater than 100, but it's also good because it's greater than 20. Which stands to reason. So the order may be important. I may need to change that order. All right, so we've got that. And of course, then what I can do is group by these, and I can order them and all sorts of things like that. Now that I've got these, I can use them. I can use this as my list of what's most important, whatever that calculation is. It's just an example there to use. In actual fact, if I was doing that, I probably would divide by an ATR or something like that to find some sort of normalization in there. But once we've got this, I can then, let's say, double click on this code and I've got my chart there. It looks like I've still got my time alert from our last session in there. And what we can do is, let's go again, candlestick. Actually, I should use my default layout. So we'll set that up there. And let's just bring this up, and I want to clone this chart because we're trying to create a bit of a dashboard here of things that are important to us. So I'll get rid of the layout. I don't want the layout on this one. I want this to be a weekly, let's make that a line chart. And so I've got this idea of the bigger term picture. So I've got my detail here with the bar chart, and maybe we can resize these down a little bit and bring that there. The other thing I can do actually is just stack the studies on here. So then my two studies are now presented as tabs along here. This is a new feature in Optimal 1.6. So if you're using before 1.6, you won't have that yet. But that's available there. The other thing I want to add to this is just a snapshot of the index. So what I can do is come along here. I'm just going to clone this chart and let's call this SPX and bring that up there. So I've got a weekly SPX. Maybe I should make these, you can see as I drag off to the side, I've got ability to control exactly where that's going to end up. So we've got our SPX there and our Amazon. Now, one of the problems is if I come along to the watch list and I click on another ticker, all of those charts are going to update. Now, and that's why we have added in this grouping mechanism. So if I come along and say, right, let's group this and group this one, all the Amazon charts, and not group the SPX, now what I can do is come along here and click on Google, and Google will update on our two charts, but our index stays the same. So it becomes, again, an easy way of being able to jump through and look at these tickers and still have my index there as a reference as well. Now, there are a lot of other ways that we can use this data. For instance, I can click here, I can hold down the Shift key and click down the bottom, and I've now selected them. I can hit my space bar, and then what I can do is use my open list as, and I can say, right, let's just say that we want to open all of this. Let's open this using market intelligence and open up a column chart. So now those securities are here as a column chart. I might just go over the top of that one for the moment. And again, I can have this set up with my green group. I can select them. But one of the other things that you'll notice is that I now have a green line added to my chart. When I have an RRG and I group them with a group diamond or a column chart like this, or one of the bubble charts, anything like that, I can control what date. See, often I can look at this and let's just say that, well, this script is just the close, but maybe what we should do is say, let's change this from close to, actually I should delete that. Otherwise I'm just changing the script underneath. So we're going to come along here. We're going to say, let's just make it the RSI and hit apply to that. And so we have the RSI value, obviously ranging from 0 to 100. We can sort this. And so we find out which ones are at the highest level and which ones are at the lowest level. But with this, I may look at Alphabet here and say, well, I want to know how all of these were doing at this time. I can grab that line and drag it back through time. And you can see the yellow column in the column chart. Well, that's Google. And so I can see where it sits. So when this was quite low, well, how did that compare to all the other securities? And I can just scroll back and forth through time as well. So again, there's a lot more than just the snapshot of today, because so much of technical analysis is about studying what's happened in the past and then bringing that forward to today. And so that's what we're trying to do here. So again, I just wanted to create this dashboard, show you the types of things we can do. There are so many different chart types, from bubble charts, etc., which are available. Again, depending on the edition will depend on exactly what you have, but a lot of this is available to you. So thanks for watching, and we'll continue on next time.